So again, I've got the striker for my Firesteel, and just utilising that the way it's meant to, I can get some nice sparks. But they're not going too far off the end. They're not really those big fat healthy sparks that I'm going to get with that I'm going to need for some challenging tinder or similar. So the nice thing with the knife is I've got all of these different striking surfaces I can use. Normally we'd just use the back of the knife to actually be striking with. And one of the first things that impressed me for this was the amount of different surfaces I'd be able to use to actually strike with, to the extent even on the rear of the handguard here works for me, which is very, very nice. It's good to have that option and variety, and also from the practical side of things, you know, people look at it and think, well, why would I want to be able to do that? But if I'm getting to more advanced techniques like one-handed use of the Firesteel, having different striking surfaces on the knife is a real good sort of advantage. So just to expand on this a little bit, I know we're sort of testing this knife, but just to kind of, for those that have never maybe done anything like this, what I'm just going to use some cotton wool or a cotton ball for today just to demonstrate. By using my Firesteel, I would look to shower sparks onto tinder, which my cotton wool ball would be, and hopefully that tinder is designed to catch that spark and turn it into a flame. So hopefully you can see from there, away it goes and starts to flame, and then I'd be adding my fuels onto that to actually sort of build up my fire from there. Okay. Now guys, I would emphasise the reason I'm making this video is just to show some of the capabilities of the knife, as opposed to teaching a lot of survival techniques. So just be aware, you know, I haven't cleared this down to the ground, and there's a lot of things I haven't done for firelighting that quite simply I don't need to do today, because I'm just basically illustrating the use of the knife in sort of various aspects. That said, one thing I do want to go back to from a little earlier, so let's just pop ourselves another cotton ball out here. And then if you remember a little earlier on, we made these feather sticks. So what I'm actually going to do now is go ahead and light my cotton ball and just illustrate the difference between trying to light the one end that hasn't been feathered, and then we'll show on the feather sticks, just to show why that's such a desirable thing to be able to do. So I'm just going to get that lit. To trying to get my wood to take on this one end. Apologies for these light conditions, you really can't see this flame, but obviously you can see the snow melting around this, so you know it's burning. You see it's just not catching. The wood's just a little bit too dense. Again, using my volume to surface area rule, it's just not catching, it's barely even scorching. So let's just try that one more time, but using the feathered end. Okay, now you see those feathers have actually caught and start to burn through up towards the larger section of wood there, which is exactly what I want them to do. So this is just sort of one on its own, but if I had 5, 6, 7 of these together, they would actually start to combust far better and go through to the next stages and get my larger pieces of wood going. So for those that have never seen that before, I just wanted to highlight what that was about.